That kind of nerd. Let's start the show with comics, movies, and technology. Here we go, bringing you the segments that you're looking for, like Cape Talk, Screen to Stream, Tech Perspective, and more. Cast this nerd degree and the blockbuster. Welcome to the club, cause you're that kind of nerd.
Welcome everyone to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined by Joshua Burns.
What up?
Brian is not here this week because he is married! Yay! For the time you're listening to this, listener, Brian is officially tied the knot. I believe he took her last name, which I thought was an interesting choice. But
yeah, for sure.
Actually, you know, I'm not. No, all jokes aside, he literally told me that he and Cassandra debated actually changing their name to the Bernstons.
It wouldn't.
But there was at least a 20-minute conversation about it.
Well, it's a good name, and it was given careful thought. Clearly,
strong name, masculine name.
boy, very tall,
very tall boy, very very important. But because Brian is gone, that doesn't mean that we're not going to talk about things like the world of comics, see how it's affecting TV, see how it's affecting movies. But believe it or not, it's still affecting Brian this week. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk.
You know, he may be gone, but he's still on the show, just in that one little segment, one little part. DC Universe is inviting fans to create a show in a new competition, to which I immediately said, Brian, you can get a Hollywood job. There's a competition called DCU Unscripted, where fans are going to compete for the chance for developing their own TV show to launch on DCU. I thought this was kind of interesting. So here's the quote that we got from the vice president and a GM of DC Universe. Since the launch of the service just over a year ago, we established a community that has far exceeded our ambitions. We hosted unforgettable member events, we created places and spaces where fans could have a voice, and we're working to take it to a whole new level in our second year by giving fans the opportunity to submit their own concepts for an unscripted show that will potentially become a series on DC Universe next year. Basically, what you have to do is you sign up for an account on one of their little networks here. You submit a unscripted reality show, everything from game shows, gameplay. They said, quote, hot food and hot takes. If you rip off Hot Ones DC Universe, I'm going to be pissed about that. If you win, they will fly you out to LA. They will sit you down with industry professionals and help you develop the show. The deadline to submit a deal is November 18th. So I said, hey, Brian, you're about to have a whole bunch of free time in your life. Start crafting. Start developing.
So you have to be a member of this Ideas United network.
Yes. That costs money.
I'm looking at that. And I mean, there's certainly an application process.
Right.
So Brian first has to apply. And then if they accept him, he can submit.
Well, he can link to half the show where we encourage people to sign up for DC Universe for like 4.5 months.
Yeah, no, I that doesn't have anything to do with this Ideas United.
Right.
So this is a separate.
Yeah, it's a whole separate thing.
Yeah. So you have to be a member of that.
Right.
Network.
Okay.
I'm just saying there's like a.
Yeah, you gotta, there's a buffer. There's a middleman. I get it.
Yeah.
Still throw your hat in the ring. What's it hurt?
I don't think it hurts anything. I think it's a great idea. I think Brian should do it.
I would. There we go. Well, what are we going to pitch now? We can't just be out here alone. Are we not going to make our own show?
No.
You could do one where you make coffee with comic book characters. It's called, what is it? Heroes in Transportation Getting Coffee? I think that's a new idea. I don't think that's ever been done before.
No, you didn't rip that off of anyone.
No. Okay, all right, fine. They also said one about hot foods and hot takes. Okay, so what if we have people cosplay as comic book characters and then eat increasingly spicy chicken wings, and we ask them questions?
Again, I think it's been done.
Okay, all right. Here's another one. You have a thing of sorts, right, that has prizes listed on it. You then have to move it in a way. Maybe spin it. Maybe it's a wheel. Okay. You spin the wheel. It lands on the prize, and then you have to guess the comic book title that's on the.
Is it like it's like a carousel of good tidings?
Wow. See, we're getting it right here. You know what? We always say hire Brian Thornton. Two of us just sitting here Great ideas.
Yeah, we're certainly not hacks at all.
What if? Okay, hold on. Last one. This is the perfect concept.
Is this the one where the heroes they cook different meals and we scream at them with a British accent?
Oh no, but we could totally do that.
Yeah.
What about one where there's a comic book on display and you have to kind of guess its worth, but if you go over, no dice, and if you're under, fine, but you just can't go over, and the closest to it gets it, and you have to guess the price. The price has to be correct, and it says accurate price, bro.
That's what we're gonna call it, accurate price, bro.
Accurate price, bro.
That that might work.
I think we got something right there. Remember to have your pet spayed and neutered, or don't, whatever. It's up to you. I'm not gonna judge you in your life. All right, this is the other part I had to bring out again, affecting Brian. Brian's still holding on to hope, some glimmer, some shiny little beacon of hope that the Netflix Marvel shows are somehow could be put onto Hulu. They could go somewhere. We don't have to throw them away. Well, as we already discussed a few months ago, that the Daredevil props for the Netflix original series went up for auction. Jessica Jones is doing the same thing in December. So, they're literally selling the props. It's over. It's gone. You lose. You get nothing. Good day, sir.
All the props in the Jessica Jones show are battered and beaten and worn to shit. Pay for this crappy desk.
Yeah, but then it could be
probably
hey.
They're going to sell the jeans that she wore a million times and never washed. Gross.
Maybe Kristen Ritter wore these jeans and never washed them. You sure there's not some people going out there? I would like that very much, please. $70, please.
So gross.
$70, please. But it's already happened. It already happened with Daredevil. It already happened with Luke Cage. It already happened with Iron Fist. They're literally going in the order in which these shows were canceled. It's over.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry.
It sucks.
Does it though? Does it suck that Iron Fist is gone? Does it really suck?
It sucks that Marvel's not on Netflix. You know what I mean? That these shows are gone. That sucks.
It does suck that those shows are just gone, and Daredevil will be missed. I would pour one out, but this seltzer is pretty damn good. I'm not going to waste a seltzer.
Daredevil and Punisher.
Yeah, you know what? Punisher auction hasn't happened yet, so
just a lot of weapons. You can't sell those.
This all has very sticky red stuff on it. It's not real blood, but it's very sticky. You're not going to get it out. Don't put it on you. You're going to ruin it.
It's all syrup.
Someone there just going, I could lick it. All right, now that we're done with the world of comics, Brian, we miss you, and I know you would have a lot more to say about all this stuff besides develop a show. Let's turn our attention to the world of movies, and goddamn do we have a lot to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Screen to Stream. Josh, I know this next topic is right up your alley, and for me, I don't really care. Big Mouth is getting a spin-off series called Human Resources with Nick Kroll.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't care about this. Have you not watched Big Mouth?
I have tried. I have tried so hard to care.
What do you mean you've tried?
I watched several episodes. I think the last one that I watched was when they went to season 1, when it first came out, when they went to the Statue of Liberty. And I think it was episode 5 or 4. I really tried. I didn't think it was funny. I didn't laugh. I didn't laugh at all. I just kept going, when does this get funny?
Yeah, it's like they didn't activate you until after puberty. You didn't know what that was about. And I think if you were, any other red-blooded American boy or girl going through puberty, this show makes perfect sense for you.
But
you should. No, I don't think you did.
For the record, I did go through puberty.
No, well, maybe in some sort of weird 1950s setting with your Russian captors or whoever they were.
Wait, going through puberty for you is not yelling code words at you until eventually
no.
From this to this.
No,
that's not how that works.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not like that desensitized whatever sensitivity training combined with electroshock therapy or no.
Really?
Nope.
You didn't have to stare at pictures for 3 days straight until one day.
No, it was very much like what happens here in Big Mouth. And they're gonna give the hormone monsters their own show, which they can't. I mean, what are they doing when they're not? I mean, with their kids.
I mean, what's he gonna do?
What are you gonna do? So yeah, I need to see this. I need to see it right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now. What are your hopes for it, though? I mean, what can a spin-off show do to earn success and approval for that? Because, I mean, the spin-off shows of comedies, not necessarily known to be the best things in the world.
Well, again, the hormone monsters are the funniest part of Big Mouth. I mean, they're so ridiculously extreme and that you can get away with saying basically anything. So I don't see like the bar being too high or low. You know what I mean? As long as it's funny, it's going to be successful.
So the premise, the setup that I that I read was it's a workplace comedy that takes place in the world of the monsters, about the monsters and creatures and everything else that manages people. A workplace comedy with these monsters, like,
Yeah, well, that's their job. They're hormone monsters.
sure.
So they sort of pop in and out of these kids' lives. So you'd have to assume that there's some sort of office they go back to.
So it's like a foul mouth Monsters Inc.
Yeah. I mean, to a degree, sure.
Okay. I guess we'll see.
Ugh.
I don't know. This wasn't my thing.
You're the first person I've met that has been anything other than like completely supportive of this.
Well,
idea.
here's the thing. I understand that other people think it's funny, and I'm fine with that. And I would like this kind of comedy to keep going because a lot of people find it funny. I like these creators. I want them to have their thing. They just premiered season 3 on Friday, so they just premiered season 3, and I know that it's been renewed for 3 additional seasons. It's got
it's
6
hilarious.
seasons. So I get it's great, and I get they're doing fun stuff. I talked about the fact how they're going to do an episode, the musical episode of Disclosure, right? That's something weird and dumb and stupid that you can get away with on that show. Like that and Bob's Burgers are the only 2 shows that will let you get away with musical renditions of movies on a show that people are like, yeah, I'd watch that. So I get it. It's just this is not my show. So I'm glad that people are getting more of it. I hope it works out. Spin-off of comedies. No, it's working. All right, how about this? How about something we can both get behind and we'll both be excited for? Kevin Smith has announced that he is indeed writing and getting ready for Clerks 3.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, Kevin Smith. It's
Right.
Clerks. It's the movie that kicked off an entire genre of movies.
Right.
The Kevin Smith genre of movies.
If it wasn't for this movie, we wouldn't have Tusk and we wouldn't have Yoga Hosers. I know.
Come on now.
I purposely picked the. No, I'm joking.
I know. So ridiculous.
It's
Just
so ridiculous.
Come on. Everybody loves Kevin Smith. Everybody loves these movies. I don't care. They're wrapping up the storyline with Clerks 3.
And I'm thinking of the amount of cameos that are going to be in Jay and Silent Bob reboot. The amount of sympathy that Kevin Smith got for having the heart attack and then doing the movie that everyone he ever worked with is like, yeah, I'll come by. That's fine. Even Affleck is like, yeah, can I come in? He made up with Bruce Willis, Josh. He made up with Bruce Willis. And if you know anything about Kevin Smith and Bruce Willis do not get along after Cop Out. They've made up. They had conversation. They have talked. They're buddy-ish now. That's crazy. So I can only imagine what this movie could bring. And I'm hoping that we see the likes of Affleck or someone else just making more cameos and more of his movies. I would like more of these, please. Thank you. Keep making those Clerks. I didn't mind Clerks 2. That's fine. Clerks 1 was better, but I didn't mind Clerks 2.
No, I loved it.
You loved Clerks?
Loved Clerks 2. Absolutely.
Loved, like with a capital
Loved.
L.
Yeah, loved. I loved it.
Okay. You and I have different passions around things, apparently.
Give me all the Kevin Smith.
Touche. All right. Then we also got this little featurette, this little teaser gag thing for the movie Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds. The premise of this movie is ridiculous. Do you know the premise of this movie yet? Have you read about it?
I know. I only saw the thing and then I sent it to you guys because I thought it was hilarious.
So explain the thing to the listener.
So you've got the stars of the movie Free Guy, which are Ryan Reynolds, Taika Waititi, Steve, what's his name from Stranger Things. And I don't know who the chick is, but it's essentially the creative Stranger Things is doing this movie, and you've got the 4 actors sitting there, and Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi are talking about how great it is that they finally get to work together. They've been sort of following each other's careers for a while. You should watch the video; it's in the show notes. Pretty dope. They they have worked on a movie before, but neither of them wants to acknowledge it. So take a. It's like 2 minutes of your life. You'll be glad you did.
And it's Jodie. I think it's Jodie Comer. No, it's Comer. Jodie Comer from Killing Eve, which is a popular show. Yes, they refuse to acknowledge the fact that they worked on spoiler alert, Green Lantern together. Which when I was watching Green Lantern for the retro review, I was like, That's Taika Waititi. What was that? And then what's great about the thing that they just leave. So here's the premise of the movie, Josh. Are you ready? Ryan Reynolds is just a normal guy, right? Just a dude who's living his life, wakes up in the morning, right? Gets ready for work, very much like the Chris Pratt's character in the Lego movie, right? Just a dude. But all around him, people are jumping out of buildings, jumping over rooftops, diving, doing crazy things, getting shot at. And he just goes about his day, living his life. He works in a bank. Till one day, he picks up a pair of glasses, and then he realizes that he is an NPC in a video game. And he doesn't know that he is a non-playable character who's living in a complete fantasy world. But once he puts on the glasses, he becomes self-aware and starts to interact with the world around him, including shooting a guy in the chest, leaving a gigantic hole in it, going, yeah, he's just resting. So that's the premise. He's just a normal, everyday dude who becomes self-aware, and Taika Waititi is actually going to be playing the bad guy in the movie. He is the evil game developer who is out to wreck Ryan Reynolds' life and stop him from being self-aware.
That right?
Apparently, he's very Deadpool-esque. Very look at the camera, do the wink and the nod, and do what you need to do. Now, that I sound extremely interested in, and I care to see more of this movie, and I'm already bought in on the premise. But then Ryan Reynolds did something else this week, and they released a trailer for 6 Underground.
Yes.
And I'm watching this going, okay, I see Michael Bay, directed by Michael Bay, okay, and I see Ryan Reynolds and other people, many other people with him. None of their names mentioned in the movie trailer at all. And I watch this trailer and I say, I don't know. I don't know what I feel about this. Okay. The premise for this movie is that they are 6 elite people who are presumed dead by their governments, and now they're doing whatever they want. They are mercenaries for their own pleasure to do things and impact the world. But I can't tell if it's serious. I can't tell if it's not serious. I can't tell if I like this movie. Please help me.
I liked it better when it was called The Losers.
It's kind of what it's like, yeah.
It is. Yeah.
You're right.
All right, so it's going straight to Netflix. So I'm fine with this. It's not going to cost me anything additional to see it. It's got Michael Bay, which means things will go boom.
A lot of things will go boom. Yep.
A lot of things will go boom.
Like in The Simpsons when they run over a skateboard and it catches fire. Why? I don't know, but it does.
Things explode, right? I mean, same guy that wrote Deadpool, Zombieland, G.I. Joe, right? I mean,
I won't hold G.I. Joe against him.
What? I like G.I. Joe.
It was okay.
Okay. Well, Retaliation. Did he write both of them or just Retaliation?
Oh, God, if he just wrote
I think it was just Retaliation. Yeah, maybe you do have to hold that against him.
I will hold him against him. Yeah.
But I mean, he wrote the screenplay for Double Tap, and the new Clue movie. That's Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick is the other writer.
Wait.
All the same. I think they're a writing team.
Okay, I was just saying
either that or like. Maybe Wernick is normally a producer on those projects. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, no. Right. Yeah, he wrote. They're like a writing team.
It took 2 people to write those movies? It took 2 people to write that second G.I. Joe movie? Really?
Well, I mean, let's okay, for the sake of argument, let's toss that one out.
Okay. I can toss that one out.
And let's focus on Zombieland, Deadpool 2.
Okay.
Right?
All right. We could
say those are good.
Everyone gets one, right? A studio probably interfered with the second G.I. Joe, right?
Yeah, as in, give us money.
Give us money, and we'll give you notes.
Right.
Change the characters.
Exactly right.
Give them jetpacks. Also, a money clip engraved? Question mark.
Bring in The Rock. That's all we really need.
That's how we save it for. So, I mean, are you yes on this? Are you no on this?
It's gonna be on Netflix. It's got Ryan Reynolds. For sure.
This is the second time that we've used it's on Netflix as the defense.
It's not just so all right, let me start the defense by saying it's gonna be Ryan Reynolds as a wisecracking mercenary.
I don't think I've ever seen him do that before.
Right? I mean, we can trace that lineage all the way back to Blade Trinity.
Yes, we can.
right?
Ironically enough, Marvel's fault for most of these times.
Hannibal King, right? He played Hannibal King in Blade Trinity, and
Yes.
that's sort of where, that's where I fell in love with him as an action star.
Right.
And he's done it a whole bunch of times since then, but, Deadpool's kind of the apex there. And this is, just, I think your response was, Netflix delivered a dump truck worth of cash.
Oh, yeah. I just imagine for Michael Bay and Ryan Reynolds, they're just like, hey, can you back it up, please? Please, thank you. Okay, here you go. Here's your dumpster of money. Where do you want to? Can you buy another house? You can. Okay, we're good. Yes, and they're like, yeah, okay, we'll take it. We'll make it work. Mulaney, what do you think? Yeah, give them money. And then they.
Right. It has what's her name? Shoshana from Inglourious Bastards in it.
Right.
She was also in Now You See Me.
She's been in many things, but that's the thing. They didn't mention any other actor's name, and I'm like, I know her. I know
they
him.
don't need to. They don't. It has Angel from X-Men Apocalypse.
Right.
But they don't need to say anything. It has Dave Franco, and I think they do say Dave Franco. I think I did see his name.
I didn't remember seeing any other name besides Michael Bay and Ryan Reynolds.
And that's those guys are
and a ship that's the world's biggest magnet. It looks like a rejected Bad Boy script.
Corey Hawkins, who played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton.
Yes, he's a great actor.
Great.
He's also in The Walking Dead. He was a good actor. Fine,
okay,
good actor. I'll downgrade him to
good actor.
But
so he's the thing is, each of them they just go by number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It stands to reason. So I'm not sure who's who here, except for Ryan Reynolds. I know is 1.
Is the title supposed to also play on like 6 feet underground and that they're dead?
I think they are dead, right?
But
so you've got a play on words there. There are 6 of them. Fox Force 5, as in we're 5 foxy chicks,
right? Yeah.
Who are a force.
Here's my question, because I know the other week I said, oh, it's a Netflix movie, I already paid for it and I'll watch it. Is going straight to Netflix as a movie now a criteria in which we're judging the quality of the movie, of saying almost like straight to video, straight to VOD? Is it just a step above that?
I'm not even I'm
really thinking about this now.
So yes, yeah. I mean, when you think about straight to video or video on demand, you do think about kind of shitty titles,
really
right?
shitty titles. Yep.
What is that? Running with the Devil, the Nick Cage and Sam Jackson movie that just came out.
Right. Yes.
That's that kind of idea. Except you've got big stars doing this on Netflix. I'll cite the Will Smith movie from a couple years ago.
Yeah, but then there was that Ben Affleck movie that went straight to Netflix, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty shitty. Don't watch it.
Wait, which one was that?
I forget what it's called.
Affleck?
Yeah. It had Charlie Hunnam, Ben Affleck, Triple Frontier. Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Charlie Hunnam. That's 3.
I did watch that.
I heard terrible things.
Wait, did you watch it?
No, I did not, because everyone who did watch it told me it was bad.
No.
But it has not been well received either. What I'm saying is this movie has it's been shit on by a lot of people. And I'm glad that you're the minority. Because I do trust your opinions on movies. And if it's a good movie, and believe me, I know you've probably almost watched everything on Netflix by this point. I've seen your list. It's incredible. Unlike Brian's list. I know you're getting married, but I'm still ragging on you. And I trust your opinion. But that's a movie with 3 big names, 1 gigantic A-lister. Oscar Isaac is nothing to sneeze at, and Charlie Hunnam's a great actor.
But like the whole... It had Pedro Pascal in it as well,
right?
Who's a big name now.
But we even talked about The Highwaymen with Kevin Costner, Woody Harrelson, Kathy Bates. No one. We talked about that movie, saying that looks good, and we never watched it.
Isn't that a show?
Is it a show? I thought it was a movie. No, it's a movie. It's a movie.
Is it?
2 hours and 12 minutes.
All right. Yeah, I don't. Kevin Costner's always playing some broken down something, and I don't care. Right? I mean, the last couple movies he actually released, not good. Like,
right?
Really not good.
Well, what if I told you that Chris Evans, Michael Kenneth Williams, and Halle Bennett were in a movie called The Red Sea Diving Escort? I like Chris Evans, but what the fuck is this movie? Like, that's a Netflix original. There's a lot of Netflix original movies. There's a ton of them. A lot of them have big name actors, which I'm sure they're passionate about their project, right? Hey, I made this because I wanted to. I'm sure that Chris Evans made Snowpiercer because he wanted to. It's a shitty movie, but I'm sure he wanted to. But that movie is garbage, and it's on Netflix. I don't think it's a Netflix original, but it's something that no one watched or anything until it went to Netflix. So my question really is, we like Netflix, we like some of the Netflix originals, but when it comes to their movies, no one's really raved about a Netflix original movie. Look at the Cloverfield Paradox. That got announced during the Super Bowl, and people were like, oh my god, I thought this was going to be like a movie that came out, but it's on Netflix, and everyone watched it like, oh, this is actually not very good. So if I see a big name actor now doing a movie on Netflix, should I get excited about it, or should I give it the same treatment that we do for a movie under 90 minutes?
Are these movies under 90 minutes?
No, they're not. But remember the criteria which we judge movies.
I do,
Right.
but I like you've just asked two very different questions. So, do you give it any credit? Any credit? Does it hold? Does the defense's case hold water?
So the thing with the 90 minutes is a movie can still be good under 90 minutes, but if
the defense is wrong,
if the movie primarily is popularized or advertised on its chemistry and the actors and not the movie, that's a bad sign, right? If the runtime is under 90 minutes, just look into it, and then if the reviews are embargoed, those are like the big three things. But
all right, the Deep Sea Diving Resort is essentially a story about Mossad agents, but written by a guy who's got a ton of experience in this genre, including Homeland,
right,
including The Spy.
Sure,
he wrote a bunch of Tyrant. Creator on Tyrant.
We just listed that Six Underground had a writing team that wrote movies that we enjoyed,
which is why I'm saying I think I don't think you can say, oh, it's straight to Netflix, it's bad, or look at these people, it's good. I think it has to have a combination of
both
the right people and look, if the story's shit, it's gonna be shit.
Right? Yeah.
Like I thought Bright. I really liked it when I first watched it. I haven't watched it again since.
Correct.
So I could, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not going back to revisit it.
It was a good story, and I think it just probably the execution fell a little flat for me. Upon further reflection type deal is all I'm saying. But anything that's on Netflix that has these names probably is going to be worth a watch, even if it's bad. Now, I'm going to
caveat. Yeah.
Exclude Kevin Costner from that, from like automatically adding the same way I would at this point Sam Jackson. He's done a couple pretty fucking stupid things.
Yeah, like The Hitman's Bodyguard.
I disagree.
I will shit on that movie until I die.
That is one of my that's one of my travel movies, dude. I love that movie. Yeah, that's one of my travel movies for sure.
So I'm saying, and this is what I'm asking, and again, you've watched a lot of these Netflix movies, and I trust your opinion. When I see a Netflix movie, do I need to have caution and look at it a little bit to say, okay, this is worth my 2 hours, or should I just say, okay, there's two of the two criteria of good writer, good actor, or good writer, good director, I'm in. Like, what's the criteria to say go watch a Netflix movie, or what's the criteria to say investigate the Netflix movie?
I think it's dangerous saying when I see a Netflix movie, I believe at this point that if it's a, Netflix original, Amazon Prime original, whatever, like all those things require further investigation because they're all competing.
Right. But movies by Amazon go to actual theaters. Like they go to theaters.
I'm just saying any project that goes directly to one of these services, while it's included,
right,
is going to require additional digging.
Okay.
Any one of them.
So looking at it right now, the trailer that we've seen, the digging that we've done on Six Underground.
Yeah.
Just based off that information, are we, the collective we, going to watch this movie?
We are going to watch it. I mean, that's
fine.
That's the wrong.
Okay,
it's the wrong question. It's the wrong question.
What's the right question to ask?
Will we like it?
I mean, we won't know until we watch it.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure there are many Ryan Reynolds titles that I don't like that. Like other than Buried. which I don't have to watch to know I won't like.
Well, that's just small spaces. I mean, that's just because there is a movie that's on Netflix that has Ryan Reynolds on it, and I'm going, I think I wanted to see this, and it's not a Netflix original movie. It's an actual movie. It's called Selfless, and I remember.
Yeah, but that came out in the theater.
It did. It was like 2015. But I don't remember if I liked it or not. And I'm just
it's like wasn't it like Sir Ben Kingsley was gonna die and his
he like transfers his consciousness into
his
the body
consciousness,
of Ryan Reynolds, but there was actually still some consciousness left in Ryan Reynolds.
That's right. That's right.
Like altered carbon kind of thing.
But we've seen that movie done a bunch of different ways.
Right.
So this is the Ryan Reynolds version of that movie.
I guess the bigger threat for me, and I'm sorry to cut you off, I think the bigger threat for me comes down to now we're looking at stuff like El Camino, right? My brain is going, well, I really like the Breaking Bad the universe. I love the people that are in it. I think that they could do no wrong, but the fact that it's going to Netflix, do I give pause now? Like, I'm starting to actually think about this. And unfortunately, listeners, I'm having this thought with you in real time because I didn't just think about this until right now, so I apologize.
Vince Gilligan. I mean, you're gonna.
Oh, I would never poo-poo Vince Gilligan.
Right.
Okay.
So
overreacting. No. Okay. I want to move on to one final trailer, two final trailers actually that we had, but this one is for The Gentleman. What was that from? The Gentleman. New Girl. That's Brian. Where are you? I need you. The Gentleman. This is a Guy Ritchie movie. It's got
yes, it sure is
the very typical people that you would see in a Guy Ritchie movie now, and one person that perplexed me until the very end. But we got Matthew McConaughey, we got Charlie Hunnam, and then Hugh Grant, who I thought, I'm not kidding you,
great.
I thought it was Sam Rockwell doing an impression of like
I thought it was Sam Rockwell too.
I thought it was Sam Rockwell doing an impression of somebody. I was like,
wait a minute, he's not posh right now?
I was like,
Why is he not posh?
Pretty good accent work, buddy. I'm not gonna lie, that's not bad. And then I saw this Hugh Grant, and I was like, Hugh, yes, please.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know you are a big fan of Guy Ritchie. I like Guy Ritchie, but I have a hit-miss ratio with his movies.
What? Really?
Yeah, well, like, I mean, I think the last Guy Ritchie movie I saw was King Arthur, or was it Robin Hood? It was one of those movies. No, it was King Arthur. It was the King Arthur movie with Charlie Hunnam. Yeah,
it wasn't good.
It was just pretty bad.
But hit and miss? Like, really?
From what I've seen, I know I liked his early stuff, but lately I don't even remember his lately movies. That's a problem. Like, I don't remember them anymore.
Okay. So, did you like Aladdin?
I did. I know most people didn't. I did like Aladdin. I forgot that was the guy, except for the things that were overly Guy Ritchie.
He wrote the screenplay.
Yes, and he directed
it. Rock and Rolla.
Yeah, I like Rock and Rolla.
Love that movie. Right. I mean, you've seen Lock, Stock, Snatch. Right. Revolver.
I don't think I've seen Revolver.
Okay, I like that one as well. That's Jason Statham, by the way. Ray Liotta.
JSK.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so
there's really not much.
Walk me through your impressions though of The Gentleman, right? And kind of tell me a little bit what you feel about this exact trailer.
So I liked most of it. I didn't like that it has Matthew McConaughey.
That's what I was waiting for. I know you're not gonna be like, all right, I like it. All right.
No. But I mean, I love Charlie Hunnam. I don't think he's in enough stuff.
Yeah, he's a very underrated actor. I think he's really good.
He's super underrated.
Yeah. And I kind of like the premise of this movie. Plus, we've got what's his name? He was Bullseye in the Terrible Dead. Why can't I remember?
Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell, right. Plus, we got Colin Farrell in this movie. I like what I'm seeing. I don't know. I have reservations, and I don't know why. I can't place my finger on it.
All right, I'm bought in. I'm bought in just because it's Guy Ritchie. Obviously, I'm going to watch it, even though it has
McConaughey. I want to be there with you when you watch this, just so I can be like, it's Matthew McConaughey right now. You're actually rooting for a McConaughey movie right now.
I remember where I saw
Moriarty.
Andrew Scott.
Yes.
His Dark Materials.
Oh yes. I didn't watch. You didn't watch the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer. I'm already bought. I don't want to know more. I want to be very caught in secret.
All right, fair enough.
Yep. You showed me Lin-Manuel Miranda. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
I'm in.
You don't have to do anything else.
Take my money.
You've won. HBO subscription. All right. Engraved? Question mark.
I'm about it. I just really
it seems
Guy
to be
Ritchie?
the London gangster, right? There's the element of, hey, Matthew McConaughey is a drug dealer or drug kingpin, really.
Well, he's got to have that one American element. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, and he's like, who's more American than Matthew McConaughey to British people? Matthew McConaughey, who's kept his shirt on this entire trailer, Josh.
He managed.
But of course, he's just like, can there be weed in the movie? What's the weed budget like? Is it good?
Look, I'm not going to wear deodorant, okay? So this is releasing in 2020?
Yes, so The Gentleman is coming out in 2020. We'll obviously see more about it, but Guy Ritchie, big cast, loaded cast, new gangster movie. I mean, like, I'm down for this. And, like, Hugh Grant, I think he's making a small comeback. He was on that Amazon Prime movie, which is really good. And this movie looks really good, too. I think he's making his comeback. So you killed somebody. No, it was the gravity that killed him. Sorry, I'm just reading some of the YouTube comments. I'm in. And then in our last bit of little teaser trailer stuff, Stranger Things 4 was officially announced with the new teaser. We saw nothing. We have no footage, no people, no kids, but these kids are growing up fast. So keep them in front of a camera, keep filming while they still look like they're teenagers before they become young adults very quickly. But we got the announcement. That's important.
I have not watched season 3 yet.
Oh, okay. I would highly recommend you do that. It was pretty good. And I have thoughts and feelings. And when it happens, Josh, I'm here for you. Okay?
Okay.
When you're done, I'll be here in my office, okay?
Gotcha.
All right.
Before we move on, Jimmy, could you roll the music, please? Thank you. Before we get into this next topic, we want to say that your support of the show is what keeps us going every week. If you'd like to support this show and get exclusive content, become a member of our Patreon. Benefits start at just $5 and will earn you a shout out on this show. Jimmy, could you cue us back in?
One day we'll pay him, but it's not this week.
Not today.
Oh God, no, not today. Please.
What do we say to death?
Not today. I was going to talk about this last week, but last week got pretty damn busy. Amazon, holy shit, guys. Calm down, okay? I got my machetes and I went exploring the Amazon and I came back with way too much things.
15 new products.
And it was 80. It was 80 new products that they announced, Josh. 80! It's way too much. Listen, there's a whole bunch of new Echoes and new Dots, blah, 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 blah. Here's the things I just kind of want to touch upon, right? The first thing is they said, hey, nerds. Are you there, nerds? Are you here, nerds? So we said, yeah, we're here. What's up? It's like, you know how you like to buy weird techie shit and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we make some, sometimes you don't. Like, yeah, like, you want to beta test us? Like, we'll make it real cheap and you can beta test it. We're like, yeah, I like to do that. Great. Here's a product called Day One. So Day One products are not ready for the mass market. They're made for the nerds. They're made for the enthusiasts. And if they sell real well, and if we see that people use it, they will make it ready for consumers and put it out into the mass market. But if only 5 people in Utah use it, and they don't use it all the time, they just throw it away. So Amazon's just taunting people like me to say, hey, how about if we gave you a pair of glasses? And they've got Alexa in it. Would you buy that? I would try it. All right, Echo frames. Here you go. You like rings? Yeah, I used to wear a lot of rings in high school. Okay, what if we put Alexa in it? I mean, I don't really know how that would be useful. All right, well, we're going to sell it anyway. They're just putting Amazon in everything. Just put in the Alexa. Sorry for triggering all of those. Although, Alexa, subscribe to That Kind of Nerd podcast. Maybe that works. I don't know. If it does, great. But they're just throwing out these little Day One projects of just seeing what sticks and just letting the nerdy public test it. And I'm curious about your thoughts of that being a business decision that Amazon's just cool with doing right now.
Beta testing's a tough thing. I mean, everything's buggy. It's double-edged sword. So, and once they decide what does work versus what doesn't, they probably stop supporting those early.
That's what I'm thinking. They just kill off your well, I mean,
so you still are going to have to buy like the retail version.
Well, I imagine. Let's say so. One of them was, I kid you not, it's a plug, like a smart plug for like your house that you plug in. It's got Alexa, but then you can put modules in it, and one of them is like a nightlight. The other one is like a strong charger. The other one is oh god, it had something like a humidifier or something like a thermostat or something, whatever.
It was probably not a humidifier.
Probably not a humidifier. That would be weird.
Right. Yeah.
Alexa, it's a little warm. Can you mist it up a bit? Psst. Okay, thank you.
Alexa, start a fire.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Josh. Do it anyway, damn it. Anyway, but yeah, but they let you do it. But then I'm imagining, could you just kill that off? Then they're like, okay, well, clearly nobody wanted this. Do they kill it off, or they just let it ride because it's just powered by Alexa?
Well, I'm not saying, your device will no longer work, but very likely they will no longer support it. So you'll be stuck on firmware version 1.0,
right.
1.01.
Your
whatever.
new smart lampy thing won't be updated.
Right.
Gotcha.
That's exactly right. It won't work with the newest other gadgets. Right.
But at this point, you get to say, I did it first. Okay. I do want to talk about, though, a couple other things that were pretty interesting. And one of them is something that even Apple is teasing around with. It's a project that Amazon is calling Amazon Sidewalk. What they're doing, nerd alert. Ready? Nerd alert. They're taking a 900 megahertz spectrum that isn't being used by anything, and they're kind of making it into a network similar to Tile and to other tracking systems. Your nerd alert is over. So here's your example. A pet tracker, right? It's a thing that goes on the collar of your pet. If your pet were to, I don't know, run away, if you are part of the Amazon Sidewalk network through a variety of products, if my dog runs past your connection, it will alert me that my dog is in this area, the last seen here, and continue to go on any place where this spectrum reaches and other people are using the product. If you know Tile, it's very similar to that. If I lose something and a Tile user is by it, it will ping me to say this is your location. It doesn't tell me that you told me that, and it doesn't tell you that the object is by. It only tells me that where the object is. And I gotta be honest, the first thing making that a pet tracker, that's pretty freaking awesome. That's a really novel, useful thing that people could use in real life.
Yeah.
All right, Debbie Downer, rain on the parade. Why is that?
I'm not. It's just, it's like, wasn't the 900 megahertz band like the original or one of the original analog and then dual mode mobile phone bands?
Yes, but it's been very much retired.
Yeah, no, I get that. I understand that. What I'm saying is, how reliable are we going to say this thing is? Right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but when Fido runs away, I would take semi-reliable over, I don't fucking know where he is. Hope someone takes him to a vet and he's not dead.
I thought dog collars, a lot of dog collars already had geolocation.
But they've got tracking through GPS and blah 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 blah. But those things need to be charged, or those things need battery in order to do that. And this frequency is much more low energy, so you just have a small battery inside of it and have it last for years, rather than having to bury charging stuff or stuff like that. So I thought that was interesting.
I don't have an issue with it. I just wonder, is this necessary? Don't we already have stuff? Does it?
Yeah, and like I said, even Apple is getting into
this, probably more accurately, right?
Yes, but I think that this is
your dog is somewhere in this 7-mile radius.
I think this is one of those things where, honestly, all right, you want to know my honest opinion why they made this? Jeff Bezos has a gigantic ranch. It's a huge ranch. He has a huge piece of property, which I'm sure this spectrum is all over, right? Because it's an unused spectrum that's just so easy to put wherever the hell he wants. And I'm sure at one point Bezos lost a remote. I'm sure at one point he had a cat that just got off somewhere, right? And some kid is like, where's that cat? Where's Sprinkles?
He's just making all his servants wear bracelets.
Right. And he's just like, I want to know where things are on my ranch. You know what? Let's sell the product. Why not? We're already putting humidifiers with Alexa. Why not we do it? I mean, they have a microwave with Alexa. Why not make this thing happen?
Svetlana's always taking long breaks.
Now we know where she is.
I just want to know where she is.
Good thing is he doesn't have to worry.
I never know what she's doing back there.
Doesn't have to worry what his wife is doing anymore.
We need the meatloaf.
Oh, that was too low blow. Is that the one?
Well, what's she doing? She's counting her $30 bajillion dollars. Right.
They also made a smart oven with Alexa inside of it, so you can talk to your. Listen, I think
Alexa, we need the meatloaf.
Meatloaf, Alexa. Again, for anyone who's just had their Alexa order the meatloaf, I hope either you're playing Meatloaf, the musician, or enjoy your Grubhub. I'm sure that's what's happening. Was there any item though that you saw that Amazon had announced that actually was of interest to you? Or I know you're not a big Alexa person, but from the technology standpoint, something that you were excited about.
I mean,
Okay.
no, not as such.
The other thing that they did make was something called the Echo Buds, right? This is a product that is aimed directly at Apple and Bose and all those companies that have some form of earbud, but also with an assistant built into it. I know Google has one. We obviously know Apple has the AirPods. They are pretty cool looking for an Amazon product. They're only $129, right around the sound of the AirPods. They have about a 5-hour battery with a 24-hour case. Really interesting product for Amazon. They're really pushing that kind of product. So of course, Amazon wants to send out an executive to promote the new earbuds, right? Talk to them, to members of the tech media. And of course, this guy was wearing the, hold on, wait. Jimmy just handed me a thing. No, he was not wearing the Amazon Echo Buds. He was wearing AirPods.
Yeah.
While he was talking about their new buds.
And his name is Dave Limp.
Is it really?
Yeah, he's a senior vice president of like devices and service.
Come on, dude.
Guaranteed. I mean, I don't think the interview's available. At least I don't see it here. Oh, you can see the video. I think the link is in the show notes. Check the show notes. Click the link. Look at the video. I'm hoping this guy like gestures with his arms and he's wearing an Apple Watch. Like, I mean, nothing would make me happier. Like he takes out his iPhone. He's got an iPad, wearing an Apple Watch.
He's got a HomePod at home, you know.
I mean, certainly he's got on a single AirPod.
One AirPod.
Showing off how versatile they are. He's wearing a sweater.
I don't know if he's wearing an Apple. What was funny though was I was watching, as I talked about, I started watching the documentary for Bill Gates that we discussed a few weeks ago.
Yep.
And in there is the CEO or president or whatever, some muckety muck of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, right? We all know who the fuck Bill Gates is. And this woman is wearing an Apple Watch.
Of course.
And I'm just going, I guess Microsoft really doesn't have an answer for that, do they? Like, all right. That means she has an iPhone. Okay. I mean, like,
right.
Clearly, this woman's just like, well, I'm going to live my own life and whatever. Bill Gates can do whatever he wants. He's trying to make a better toilet. Just let it happen. So yes, one of the technicians or one of these people who are associated with these big, powerful companies doesn't eat the dog food, doesn't eat the old stuff. Anyway, thought that was worth mentioning. Really, eating the dog food, was that too much?
Dave Limp.
I
was still reacting to the guy's name.
Well, now that we're done exploring the Amazon, let's turn to my favorite hobby, where I go around the internet, I find the weird, I find the obscure, and then I ask this gentleman here for a tech perspective. So, Josh, about 6 months back, maybe even a little bit more than that, I told you about a challenge that Vitamin Water was putting on. That if you could go a whole year without using your smartphone or a tablet, right, using a computer only, you could win $100,000. To which I said, sign me up! And I entered into this contest. And of course, as we know from the last year, I was selected. Hold on. Jimmy told me I was not selected from this process. So that sucks. But Alana Mugden, or Elena Mugden. Elena Mugden was selected, and she is just 4 months away from claiming her prize. This girl is rocking a traditional flip phone. She's going to get $100,000 for not using it. But what I thought was interesting, when I was actually reading the article, obviously the same old, everyone was wasting time on their cell phones, and oh my gosh, look what I got done. But what's cool was she actually wrote a book. She wrote a fantasy series that she was working on, and she went on a cross-country book tour to promote her book. But because she doesn't have a smartphone, Josh, that means no Google Maps, no email, no Uber, no like Lyft, no airline, no hotel apps.
You don't need to point out all the disadvantages of using a flip phone.
She had to print out directions.
Well, I mean, one would imagine she was like, rental cars. Do you just get?
I mean, she said she printed out directions. I doubt she's.
All right. Well, printing out directions is ridiculous.
I doubt she's getting paid for the book tour. I'm sure she's just going out and doing it by herself. She's like 24.
I don't know. This seems like an awful.
She said she's never going back, that she's not getting another smartphone.
Okay.
You're like, yeah, sure, we'll see how long that lasts.
I mean, look, I can't. I recently went without my phone for a period of time, and I will say that the number of times in a day I need to go look something up bordering on insanity. Like, not only that, but like just every time I get up to leave a room, I tap my left pocket. Is my phone there?
Right,
Is
yeah.
my phone there?
Yep.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, I was even talking about the other day, I left my Apple Watch at home and went to work, and I was like, and I caught myself doing that gesture of like, put your arm up for a second, get your shirt off your watch, and then check the time kind of thing. Like, I was pumping my fist in the air with nothing there, just like an idiot.
Yeah.
I go, oh, all right. I do see the general purpose of, if I could use a smartphone less, I would be probably more productive, happier person. But not using it at all, I would just instantly just be carrying a laptop and a mobile hotspot with me anywhere. I'd just be like, fine, it's now a 13-inch MacBook. Hope you're happy.
Yeah. I mean, it said no smartphone. Why wouldn't I just connect my iPad?
It was also no tablet. No cell phone, no tablet.
But then it would be a Mac.
It'd be my MacBook, right? I'd probably get the 12-inch MacBook, just regular MacBook, the one that weighs like nothing. The one that I have to hold, otherwise it flies into the air, and just walk around with a mobile hotspot and let it happen. But we talked about this story. I want you to know a real-life person actually did it, and she's going to get $100,000. So, good for her.
Yay.
Writing fantasy novels. Good, go her. Yeah. But I would like to talk a little bit about a phone. And before you, listener, run away in terror because Josh and I are going to sit down and talk about a phone, it's not an iPhone. It's actually Microsoft making their Surface Duo phone, although they never called it a phone when they were on stage, that is running Android and has two screens. Not a foldable screen. It's two screens that fold. So Josh, you also wanted to kind of talk about this topic, and there's a larger article in the show notes as well. I'm curious though to kind of get your perspective as to talk about this phone and kind of what's going on with it.
There's a lot of buzz about the most innovative. It's not the first phone. Huge failure in the past. I like what Microsoft is doing. I like that it's not going to run Windows OS.
Yeah, thank God.
And I think it's incredibly innovative. I don't think I could, what I've seen, I'll want to play with it, or, absolutely saying, yeah, I do think it's the idea. I think specifically OS is when Microsoft starts tinkering with it, it's, I mean, look, if you tell me it's going to run straight Google, you know what I'm saying? If it's going to run like a Pixel, I would tell you, oh, this is probably a really good idea. But that's not really how Microsoft operates now, is it? Like, it's going to come preloaded with Edge as your browser. I think it's just going to be skinned all crazy Microsoft, and right. I think it's going to be a dog shit OS.
Here's what I'll say about this phone. Microsoft has made a very strong partnership with Samsung recently, right? To have some of their products on Samsung phones now. So the Note and things like that now come with some of the Microsoft Office suites preloaded. So it's not like Microsoft doesn't know how to make Android stuff. It's not like they don't know how to work with that software. However, Josh, you are correct. They have heavily skinned this Android software to look like Windows. Now, here's the thing. If you use Windows, this isn't bad. And if you use Android, this is a really compelling piece of software. And a really, really nice piece of hardware. And I will say this, and I think you've agreed, Microsoft's hardware is getting really good. If you have to use a Windows product, a Microsoft-branded Surface or their new Surface Books are really good products. They look really good. Their keyboards actually work and function, unlike my current MacBook Pro. They do a really good job of getting the work done. So if you have to use a product, they do a great job. I think.
Wait, what's wrong with your MacBook Pro?
Oh, my generation of MacBook Pro. If you get a particle of dust in your keyboard, just good luck. Just kiss that key goodbye, and it's a terrible keyboard.
What keyboard do you have?
I have the 2018 MacBook Pro 13-inch. This is the one that is covered for 4 years for the keyboard. because the keyboard is so bad. They gave you a 4-year cost-free warranty to replace the keyboard.
I have the same keyboard, and one of my keys sticks a little bit, but like,
oh, it's a widespread issue. I won't bother with.
Okay,
but it's.
Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
The iPhone, the max size iPhone, whether it's the 11 Pro Max or the 10s Max or whatever, that's a 5.6 inch display, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Something like that.
Very close to it.
So the hardware they're introducing is 2 side-by-side 5.6 inch displays, but they're not edge to edge.
Correct.
And they're not 16:9 aspect ratio. So I'm having trouble with the size of this.
I'm thinking this. If let's say you're a Samsung Note owner who's not happy with Samsung software or the S Pen or your phone exploding, this would be a pretty good alternative to go to. This would be pretty big. If you're a person still rocking a Dell Streak, you would probably want something like this.
That's what this reminds me of, is 2 Dell Streaks like stitched together. It's not, if you've held one of the newer Note phones, they're easier than the older models and certainly easier than the Dell Streak. This just looks unwieldy. Unwieldy large.
I don't feel that way. I'm looking at this and number one, it actually works on like the Samsung Fold, which is just, that phone is dead on arrival. It's like, please don't poke the screen, touch the screen, don't take it near dust, dirt, don't put it in sunlight, don't feed it after dark. Oh my God, you got it wet. The phone is dead on arrival. I appreciate Samsung pushing smartphones and all these devices forward. Someone's got to try this first, so that way people can fix it and make it better.
I would root this thing and run straight Google.
Right. The Surface Duo, which is the tablet version of this. So the Neo is the phone, and the Duo is like the tablet. Has a really cool innovative feature when you kind of make it look like a laptop and you put a really cool magnetic keyboard on there. It now has a bar on top, very similar to a touch bar on a Mac, that is a trackpad as well as your emoji and like a GIF keyboard. And it looks really innovative. And I think they're doing their hardware really well, and I think what they're doing is pretty sweet. It's pretty awesome. And again, if you're a Windows person, look at these products; they're awesome. We're Apple people. We know that at some point they'll catch up to this. They're not going to do this first, but they're going to do it really well if they do this. But this is a big kind of swift kick in the butt for Apple a bit, because one of the articles that you sent over, Josh, says Microsoft has beaten Apple. And every year someone puts out a thing that says Apple's dead and they can't innovate. And Phil Schiller went out on the stage one year and said, can't innovate my ass, and then didn't innovate for 5 years. But right, I'm sorry, they did. And we're looking at the new iPhones that just came out, and it's the same design. That's fine. Next year is going to be something better, we hope. People are really blowing this one out of proportion, but I really think I used a Microsoft service for my job once. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. I would look into the Surface Duo if I was buying a tablet for myself, but my kids can't run this, right? Like my kids get an iPad for Christmas. She couldn't run a Surface Duo. My wife couldn't run the Surface Duo. You have to have a level of techiness and nerdiness to actually appreciate any of these products, these new innovative ones.
The software remains the issue.
Yes, the software remains the issue, and the hardware isn't appealing to anyone who isn't a power user. So this is really cool. This is really science fiction-y coming to life. This is really cool stuff to celebrate, but this is not for the mass market. This isn't for the average person walking into Best Buy. This is not something you would even get for back-to-school purposes for these. You would get maybe the new Surface Book, which is awesome. If you're interested in having a laptop computer that runs Windows, go get yourself a Surface Book. They're really great. But I think the other part of Apple can innovate and Apple's dead and Microsoft's going to out-invent Apple, I'm sorry. No thanks. I am glad that Microsoft is back to making a phone that we can yell at them about Windows Phone again, but whatever, it's pretty cool. I hope that wasn't too nerdy for you, listener, because I don't care if it was. I like that conversation. All right, listener, as you know, this podcast is obsessed with our folding laundry robots and folding machines. We, of course, are in this house. We're a Foldymate family. Okay, right? That's what we do. your house may actually make your pasta sauce from scratch. Some of you are Prego houses. We're not going to judge you for that today. I know Josh is, but we're not going to judge you for that today. But we do need to talk about one more machine that folds your laundry because they made an update, Josh. Remember the IFE or the Effie? It was an ironing machine that will do your shirts. So you put your shirts in there, you hang it up, and it irons it for you. No hassle, no muscle, no fuss.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, Josh? They can do pants! It's a big update.
I mean,
it couldn't do pants before. I don't know why, but they didn't have the technology for pants.
It doesn't, I mean, you put it on a hanger.
Right.
And then it just like steams. Doesn't it just steam? Isn't it just a steamer?
Yeah, but because of things, it couldn't thing with the pants.
Couldn't I just hang the pants like I would, and then it'll just poof?
Well, I don't know, because it couldn't do pants, and now it can do pants. It's an innovation. But Josh, pants. I'm sorry. This is why Folding Mate is the most superior thing in the world. Because it's like, we don't care. We'll just fold shit for you. We got you. And this is like, we figured it out. We finally got pants, guys. Woo!
I mean, here's what I'll tell you. Spend $100 and just get yourself a steamer. That's what I did. It's really great. This is not the same as folding.
No.
Folding is infinitely more valuable to me. Like, having not to fold anything would be.
They said go ahead.
Right. I don't need most things ironed.
Right. So they said now that they will do. So this is how the FE, IFE, whatever it is. They will iron shirts, pants, t-shirts, blouses, short dresses, bed sheets, towels, and pillowcases. It will dry
what
socks.
What psychopath is ironing towels?
I don't know. It will dry socks, underwear, and quote other paraphernalia.
Peripherals.
Oh, yeah, it does say peripherals. Oh, my dyslexia made a fun word, and now it's not fun.
Paraphernalia is not a fun word. It's just a word.
I think it's a fun word. It says it normally takes 3 minutes to iron a batch of items, up to 12 at a time, and 6 minutes to dry and iron them. I mean, that's not unreasonable.
It's fine. I mean...
But, yeah, save your money for the Folding Mate, people. Don't buy this.
Indeed.
Save your money for the Folding Mate.
Having to iron your button-down shirts implies that you degenerates are putting them in your washing machine. That should not even be.
Should I just be going to the dry cleaners?
Well, I mean, look. First, wear an undershirt.
Right. Yes.
And then you can basically just steam your shirts a couple times before they need to go to the dry.
So I want to understand this correctly. I put on my undershirt. I put on my undershirt. I put on my shirt. Then I steam my shirt while it's on me, obviously. And that solves the issue, right?
You put on your shirt and you wear it.
Okay.
And when you come home at the end of the day,
right,
you hang it up.
Okay. And then I put it in my Effie. Okay, gotcha.
And then before you wear it the next time, you steam it.
So I take a hot shower and I leave my shirt hanging up there, and
hanging
then
up.
It makes it all fresh and clean.
Or you buy a steamer. They don't cost much. I mean, if you have a nice iron, you could use that to. I mean, an iron will steam a shirt.
An iron will steam a shirt, right?
But this seems ridiculous.
Long live the Folding Mate! Fold up shop. Get out of here. Can you buy a Folding Mate yet?
I don't have at the moment. Don't have room for the Folding Mate.
That's not true. I helped clean out some of your house. I know there's room for a Folding Mate somewhere.
In my garage or in my heart.
I was just like, the Folding Mate is still on its pre-order wait list. Oh, okay. Wait. I got some updates on the Folding Mate. Folding Mate news. I don't know when the last time we even updated about this, but it is estimated that the target price for the Folding Mate will be $1,000. And if you go for a high capacity part of it, it could be $1,500 to $2,000. That's still fine. Would you join?
It's the price of a high end washer or dryer.
Would you join the beta program for Folding Mate?
No, I don't think so, man.
You gotta wait till it's all the kinks are worked out.
Yeah, like not unless I'm getting an upgrade. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they iron all the kinks out. They're gonna come install the boards.
I want to be very careful. The Folding Mate does not iron, Josh, and I need you to be aware. Language is important. You don't miss my brand of humor at all. That makes me sad. All right, listeners. Well, thank you so much for listening to this. Thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work. Be sure to go to patreon.com/thatkindofnerd. Join. Just $5, guys. Start getting some perks. We're going to have some fun retro reviews coming up in the coming weeks. We're going to have Gone in 60 Seconds and Beetlejuice. I'm excited for that. So stay tuned to the Patreon and see when that content drops. And would you kindly, listener, I know Brian's going to love this, go on social media if you know Brian and congratulate him on his wedding. Because yay! He's getting married. Marriage! Anyway, thank you so much for making us your walk around the neighborhood or your drive to work, and we'll see you next week.
Well, welcome to the club because you are that kind of nerd.
You know what the sad part is, though? Dave Limp makes more money than you and I combined.
I don't care. I mean, I don't have to walk around introducing myself as Mr. Limp.
It is funny.
Right. Well, pardon me, Mr. Limp. No, nope. You may either address me as Dave or Captain Insano. No, Limp.
Limp. There's a Mrs. Limp out there somewhere, just so you know. Oh, is your husband Limp? Please, let's not bring that up.
We have so many flaccid babies.
Wait, flaccid babies? Let's describe to me in intimate detail. Do not hold back. A flaccid baby.
All babies are. They're just. Why? They're just
no, please.
Around.
I want intimate. I want all the details. Don't stop there.
I don't have the details. I cannot has them.
I wish.
Let me ask you something. What's this chick doing with a flip phone?
Oh, I'll talk about that in a second. But I just want you to know, I really would like Flaccid Babies to be the title of this episode, but I can't.
You can't do it?
Oh, I'm just imagining we'll be pulled from something somewhere.
Really?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if anything better comes out of it.